Ever since the return of the genre to the mainstream, fighting games had to cater to two different groups of players in order to thrive. Hardcore fans, who kept the genre alive during its less active years and serve as a vital part of its marketing today, and casual fans and newcomers, who don't delve as deep into the mechanics, but still enjoy fighting games on a more visceral level. They like the game's worlds, stories, and characters. They like pressing buttons and seeing their favorite characters do cool stuff on screen. This is why, as Capcom discovered, even the lack of a simple arcade mode has become a big deal for casual players. It provides a bit of story about each character, and a reason to press buttons and see characters do cool stuff on the screen. All of Arc System Works' titles, for example, have a cut-and-dried formula that tries to cater to both groups. Every new iteration of a game provides three main things. 1. More characters, something both groups want. 2. System and balance changes for the hardcore fans. And 3. Continuing the story and some additional single-player modes for casual fans. This is all fine and dandy, but fighting game publishers believe the genre still has plenty of room to grow in popularity. If we take one end as a brand new player, and another end as a great high-level player, there are plenty of milestones in between. Many fighting game creators decided almost unanimously that the milestone of being able to do all of a character's moves is extremely crucial. And one of the main goals for their next generation of 2D fighting games is to bring players to this milestone as soon as possible. With that in mind, the biggest obstacle that prevents new players from reaching this goal is performing special moves. Therefore, even though the classic Street Fighter II formula ended up being a very solid design, the time for change is upon us. Some fighting games are removing special move motions completely, while some are implementing a more modest change, only removing Dragon Punch motions and complex super move motions. While it may look like a worrisome change from a hardcore player's perspective, it's clear that the developers do not want it to harm high-level play. Let's examine this trend from a designer's standpoint. Can the changing or outright removal of special move motions hurt the game? Joystick motions add three qualities to a move. 1. They make the move harder to execute. 2. They make the move slower to execute. And 3. Depending on the motion, you can't block while executing the move. If you change the motion to remove the hard aspect, you also have to consider the changes to the speed. When you examine things more closely, many specials and supers would stay the same, even if they could be done instantly. Where the problem arises is with moves that have strong defensive properties like invincibility, moves that activate very fast like a command throw, or moves that instantly hit from across the screen. These types of moves have the potential to become too good if they can be done faster, since many common scenarios rely on a player's inability to perform a motion without lowering their guard for a moment, or being forced to anticipate and predict rather than react. But the game as a whole also needs to be considered. Let's look at some specific examples. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, all the Dragon Punches are done with fireball motions, which are overall easier to perform, and only require slightly less time to execute overall. Having an invincible move is good in this game, so only a select few characters have meterless Dragon Punches. While everyone has an invincible super, almost all of them cost 3 bars to perform. In Fantasy Strike, all specials and supers are performed with a single button press, but they are built from the ground up with this in mind, so every move with invincibility has drawbacks to compensate for the immediate execution. Some moves' invincibility windows don't start immediately. Dragon Punches and supers that are invincible on frame 1 have very slow startups, or other limitations that limit how and when they can be used. Other upcoming games are also going to have single button special moves, so they'll probably resort to similar measures. In BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Dragon Punches can be done instantly without a joystick motion. They are also pretty fast and air unblockable. They're seemingly too good on paper, but in order to understand their weaknesses, one needs to look at the game as a whole. Combo damage in the game can be extremely high when you can use both characters in a combo, utilizing assist or cross combos. But the opponent constantly gets access to bursts, and the most reliable way to punish bursts is by responding with an assist call. So in practice, the big combos are vulnerable to bursts, and the small solo combos are immune to bursts. This keeps the high damage in check for the most part. When the opponent's Dragon Punch is blocked, not only is there enough time to punish with a big starter, the punishment combo cannot be interrupted with a burst. So now you are free to go for your huge ideal combo. Overall, even though 2D fighting games relied on a solid control scheme for so long, it seems that changes can still be made. But since it's easy to screw things up, they need to be done very carefully, and considering the situations created by the rest of the game's rules. What do you think about the recent changes to special move motions? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
何が出るかな